Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Best of Hebrews, Volume 5. This is episode number 74, the last in the book of Hebrews. My secondary title is Saving the Best for Last. So we are going to review chapters 12 and 13 of Hebrews today. In 12:2 it says that Jesus, for whom the joy set before him, endured the cross. Jesus, who, for the joy set before him, endured the cross. And he's there as an example of using the future, the joy set before him, to help him with the very difficult present, which for him was the cross there. And similarly, we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. And those guys, we look back to them. We look back to their examples to help us with our present. So we look to the faithful experiences of our brothers and sisters to have an effect on our now. And we also look to the reliability of the promise maker to trust the promises that he has for our future. So faith is using the past, the cloud of witnesses, and using the promises in the person of Jesus to help with our now. And why is that? Well, we're all in a long, kind of brutal battle against sin. And we are supposed to consider him. Why? So that we don't grow weariness. We don't grow weary. And we asked for a kind of a soft heart, to be willing to be wrong. That's probably easy if you think about your behavior or your thought life. But then also to be soft, so be correctable, and be better. So don't despise the discipline of the Lord. Follow, embrace conviction. And so the footprint of weariness should be shrinking. We shouldn't be growing in weariness. We should be shrinking in weariness, not giving weariness a toehold. And how do we do that? By considering him and what he has for us. So God is in the holiness business, 12:14, and we too are supposed to be in the holiness business. It's our business too, but it's a little bit foreign to us. It's natural for him, and we are supposed to be striving for it on one hand, knowing that it's something that only God can give. So we're striving towards something that's only sourced in God. So our part is to make every effort, do this relentless pursuit, and run after something that can only be gifted in an unmerited way. Yes, that is ironic. All right. In heaven, there is a festal gathering, a party, essentially. So we are invited to the party. The book of Hebrews invites us to this party. There's this God is a consuming fire, and near the end of the world, he consumes almost everything, but not people, and not his kingdom, and not his heaven, his presence, not his reign, not his rule, and not the presence of himself. So we are supposed to make good choices now, because we will have to live with the consequences of our decisions eternally. Remember Regis Philbin in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he had this great tagline, "Is that your final answer?" And so Hebrews charges us, is that your eternal answer? So as we decide, as we make these decisions, we should be very careful. And then as we turn the page into chapter 13, the last chapter in Hebrews, there's 17 charges. Have brotherly love for one another. Show hospitality to strangers. Hold marriage and hold the marriage bed in honor. Remember, we can do that before marriage with sexual purity and the way we think about that. And we can do that during marriage. And we can do that inside your marriage. There's very practical things. Keep your life free from the love of money. Love is, remember, for the Lord. That's called worship. And be right about what and who you treasure. So be contentment. Contentment is not in what I possess, it's by who possesses me. And contentment is not treasures in a bank, it's treasures of my heart. It charges us to remember our leaders and appreciate being remembered by them. Let's be a joy to our pasture. And remember that frequently geography informs interpretation. So we're supposed to go to Jesus outside the gate. Why is that? Well, that's where sin offering in Leviticus 16 was being destroyed. So we bear reproach. He's out there bearing our reproach. Other practical things about do good and share. There's this call to generosity. So displaced citizens of this kingdom are to be generous. And that is to take earned dollars and turn them into given dollars. And that's likely done with some wrestling. It's supposed to be a battle. Remember what David said, I will not offer a sacrifice that does not cost me something. So the Christian walk is supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be difficult of the wallet. It's also, these 17 things tell us, it's supposed to be difficult of action, and all the emphasis on faith, it's also difficult what we do with our mind. Remember, we looked at David when he had the bad experience with the census, and his heart struck him. Then at the end of Hebrews, there's a benediction, and it's this prayer for blessing. He says, Lord, equip us with every good thing. Give us the good stuff. May we be alive. May we have you alive inside of us with the Spirit. May we have the insight into the Word, conviction of sin, passion for the people of God, and urgency of timing, and this assurance of faith, and especially that we get the person of Jesus. So Hebrews is about the superiority of Jesus, and he's above Moses and Abraham and angels, and he has a better blood, and it's a better sacrifice. And Jesus calls himself the Good Shepherd. Hebrews calls him the Great Shepherd. So I love that Jesus gets a promotion. All right, so in conclusion today, I appreciate you considering him with me. And I don't take that lightly. You could be listening to Piper or Spurgeon or Father Mike or another podcast person, and I ask the Lord would bless you with everything good. We've heard about him. Call us. Draw near with confidence, he says. And I just pray for you that may you obtain all that Hebrews promises. I pray that you would have wonderful faith. I pray that you would be near, and I pray that you would know the Great Shepherd. Thanks for being with me in Hebrews. Thanks for listening.